Serving all of Surry County, we are Surry on the Go.
Hello, my name is Sarah Carr and I work at the Surry County Health and Nutrition Center. I have Dr. Steve Samandel here with me today. He is our Environmental Health Department Director. And Steve, today I want to talk about one of my favorite topics, food. So I think when I think the health department, I automatically think restaurant inspections. So can you walk us through that process a little bit? What are you looking for in a restaurant inspection?
Sure. In 2012, the state went to adopt the FDA food code, and we started doing what's called a risk-based inspection. So we're looking for dynamic processes where things can change very quickly, and we're looking specifically at things that can make people sick right now. So that includes cooking processes, reheating and cooling processes, contaminated surfaces, personal hygiene. And with personal hygiene, we're looking to make sure that sick people are not preparing food, but also to make sure they're doing proper hand washing. Just to reinforce that, it's warm water, soap, and washing for at least 20 seconds. We can't really stress how important that is. Let me try. It is the single best way to prevent foodborne illness is proper hand washing.
Okay.
The other thing that we want to look at is that we want to make sure hot foods are hot and cold foods are cold. That's because pathogens that make us sick like to live in temperatures that are close to our bodies. So we want to keep that temperature away from our natural body temperature.
Okay. Can you define pathogens for us just so we're on the same page?
Sure. It's just those little nasties that can make us sick. I'm sure everyone's heard of them. Salmonella, E. coli, hepatitis A, norovirus. We can't get rid of some of those things in our food. Mm-hmm. So the only thing that we can do is handle the food in such a way that they don't grow in large enough numbers to make people sick. That's why we want cold foods below 41 degrees and hot foods held hotter than 135 or higher. And of course, to make sure that everything's cooked properly.
Okay.
Let me just inject here, the thermometer is your friend. I'm red-green colorblind, and so when I used to cook a chicken breast, I would cook it till it was about a strip of leather because I didn't know when the pink actually went out of it, and I didn't want to get salmonella. So now I use a thermometer, check it, and sure as it's 165, I know I'm good. We won't even mention trying to cook the pink out of ground beef.
We've all been there with the chicken. It's like not a fun surprise. Okay. What number score would you not eat at? I always look for a relatively high one, close to 100, but is there a number for you that you won't walk in the door?
That's too hard to answer based on just the number.
Okay.
And let me explain why. It really depends on the inspection. And since we've gone to a risk-based inspection, it also affects the way that we take points. For example, when I started out, the health inspector would drive around to the back of the building and make sure that the dumpster lids were closed. That's a point right there, and it is important not to provide a pest harborage, but is that something that's really going to make me sick today? Probably not. But now we don't want any kind of bare hand contact with food. So let's say a plate of food is going out and somebody picks up a roll and puts it on the plate. We don't know if they have hepatitis A, norovirus, anything that could be transferred there.
Or if they've properly washed their hands, like you were talking about earlier.
Exactly. And that can be up to 4 points off of the grade. So again, we're focusing on things that can really make you sick now, and the grades actually reflect that. So if I were going to make my own decision based on what facility I wanted to visit, I would go to the app, click on environmental health, and under public health sanitation inspections, I can search that restaurant and I can pull up their grade and I can see what was taken off for in the last inspection. And we're trained to write that, unfortunately, so that a jury can understand it. So you can look at that, see what information is there, and make your own decision based on that. And that's not just for restaurants. Let me say too that any facility that we grade is going to be listed there. That includes restaurants, motels, hotels, nursing homes, residential care facilities, bed and breakfast places, even the hospitals.
Okay. So basically, anywhere where people are and are eating, you're just there to make sure. I mean, you're not there to punish. You're just making sure everyone is safe and has, you know, a chance at enjoying their meal without any extra added.
getting sick from it. Yeah, anytime that people sell food or they sell lodging for pay, we're usually in there. And
Does this include food trucks and farmers markets and stuff like that if it's uncooked?
not necessarily farmers market.
Okay.
But we work hand in hand with the Department of Agriculture. And so if we don't cover it, probably the Department of Ag does. But it does include food trucks. We permit those. And we try to develop an educational relationship with all of our facilities. And I think we have a great rapport with them because we're both in the same business when it comes down to it, as we don't want them and they don't want to serve food that's going to make somebody sick.
That's great. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
We're here in the office 8:15 to 5 every day. Our phone number is 336-401-8325. If you have any questions, if you see something that you want us to look at, we take even anonymous complaints. If you want to call in after hours and say, I saw this place at this place, please inspect it. And we take those seriously and go out and investigate and make sure that at that time that we're there, everybody's following the right processes.
Great. And you mentioned the app earlier. If you're interested in downloading the app and seeing those restaurant inspections, you can go to the App Store on Apple or Android and search Surrey Co. Health and Nutrition. And you should see the logo behind me pop up. And go there and look through the environmental health departments, and you can also explore other areas of the app. So thank you for being with us today.
Thank you.
Informative, helpful, accommodating, and of interest, we are Surrey on the Go.